So, Bud, you've won at 135, 140, 147, and 154. You never fought at 168. You think you have enough power to hurt the great Canelo?
Of course. I don't have to have enough power to hurt him. I just got to beat him.
So, Canelo, Terence is naturally the smaller fighter, quicker, more agile, but he does have a 4-inch reach advantage over you. How do you plan on dealing with this?
Don't get me wrong, okay? He's a good fighter, a great fighter. I always say before I see him calling me out and won the fight and everything, I see before. I say before he's a great fighter. But if you look at his career, mention one elite fighter. Just mention me one elite fighter.
So Postal wasn't elite?
Who?
Victor Postal.
Who's that guy?
Oh, so he wasn't commercialized. He wasn't a great. Ricky Burns wasn't elite.
What? 40 years old champion in that moment beat Mr. Postal in my gym. I saw that.
So Ricky Burns wasn't elite?
Ricky Burns doesn't elite.
Okay.
He's not elite.
It's cool.
Is there a champion?
I'm going to fight another elite
There is
fighter
a champions,
in September.
good fighters, but elite fighters is different. Wait.
So I'm going to fight an elite fighter in September.
Yeah. Okay.
Then we're
going to find out.
Then we're going to find out.
And don't get me wrong, you're a great fighter.
I know I'm great.
You're a great fighter. But are you going to find out? I hope your uncle Turki Alashi pay you enough money because he's going to be the last. That's for sure.
It may be. Maybe.
I hope he pay you enough.
But you know, after fighters fight me, they never the same. So I just hope your career continue.
If you look at my career, never same after me.
How long have you guys, obviously thinking about this fight and then fighting another great fighter like Canelo and like Bud?
No, I never thinking about the fight Crawford. I never in my life, because he's a low weight than me. So, but I never thinking about it. But that's the fun part of boxing. You never know what is gonna happen, right? And now we are here. And I'm glad to share the ring with one of the best fighters out there, and I'm just can't wait.
So even though you see a small fighter, when you look in his eyes, do you see a fighter that could possibly beat you?
No, never.
So,
never.
So he will never beat you.
Obviously he's a special fighter. He's a good fighter, but that's why they are good weight classes, right? And we're gonna find out September.
Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford stood face to face in their second press conference, and then things got out of hand. The tension between the two fighters snapped as they shoved each other during their official face-off. The push was so strong, so sudden, that Dana White himself had to rush in and stop it from turning into a full-blown fight before the real one. Not only was the face-off one of a kind, but the press conference was nothing less than a drama itself. Crawford has been in his real colors this time, and declared again at this press conference that this will not be just a normal fight for him, but a hunting contest for Crawford.
I'ma just keep it real. I'm hunting him. That's it. I'm hunting everything that he got. And I'm gonna take it come September 13th.
Where would you rank yourself among the list of greatest of all time?
When I win, I'm gonna be at the top. Facts. When I win.
During the fiery press conference, Terence Crawford didn't just speak to Canelo, he turned to the crowd and addressed the doubters head on. With fans booing him from the stands, Crawford didn't flinch. In fact, he leaned into the moment and made a bold prediction about how they would feel after the fight.
Well, I want all the people in the stands that booed me, they gonna cry when they go home. They gonna cry.
Go ahead.
Wow.
I just found out what the sign language means for cry. Dana, I'm from the UFC world. You're bringing me over to the boxing world. I appreciate everything you've done for combat sports. What does it mean? How does it feel to you to be one of the masterminds in what could be the most viewed fight in combat sports history?
Yeah. I've always had this theory that if
Terence believed that everything he went through, including the years of not getting the big name opponents, was all part of a greater plan. In his eyes, the timing of this fight with Canelo wasn't random. He said, "I'm very confident everything's happening on God's time. There's a reason why I wasn't getting those big fights, because God was preparing me for this moment right here, and this is my time." When Crawford had so much to say on the press conference, Canelo just took the dive once, and that was on the face-off. Before that, the calmness from him felt dangerous, like a storm waiting to hit. It looked like he was done talking. He looked like he wanted to fight right there on the stage. As soon as the fighters shoved each other and the atmosphere turned aggressive, people from both camps rushed in, leading to more pushing and shouting. What started as a stare down quickly turned into a full-blown scuffle, with Crawford's trainer Bomac getting into a brawl with the team Canelo, either to defend his fighter or add to the chaos. It was clear that the bad blood wasn't just between Canelo and Crawford, it had spread to everyone around them.
Y'all don't see the clear difference. I'm not saying that Terence Bud Crawford is afraid of Canelo or that Mike Tyson was afraid of Holyfield, but there was some reaction. Maybe with Bud Crawford, this is really the biggest moment of his career, and he kind of felt it at that moment, but I think it was a genuine reaction. He just did not look like the Terence Bud Crawford icon.
It was Dana White who stepped in at just the right time to calm things down. He again proved how important his role was in keeping the event professional. But Dana didn't just stop at breaking up the scuffle. He also added more fuel to the fire by announcing a major bonus.
performance bonus that night is going to be over 6 figures. We're still talking about it. So, yeah, it's going to be a big number. Whoever wins the performance bonus of the night that night.
This fight was once seen as a mismatch. When it was first announced, some fans and critics said Crawford was too small for Canelo. They said he had no business going up to 168 pounds. Canelo is the super middleweight king. He holds all the belts. Terence Crawford spoke with pride and certainty as he reminded everyone of his status in the sport. While much of the spotlight has often been on Canelo, Crawford made it clear that he sees himself on the same level.
So, you know, we got two legends fighting each other, and I'm definitely, you know, daring to be great. And I'm going to be great September 13th. I'm not taking no credit away from Canelo's skills. A lot of people, you know, they only talk about his power, but he's very skillful in there, and, you know, he's respected.
Crawford, who started at lightweight, is jumping up 2 weight classes. People thought it was just hype or maybe a cash grab, but now, after the face-off and press tour, that talk has changed. This fight is now the one everyone wants to see. By aiming to become the first male boxer to become undisputed champion in 3 different weight divisions, Crawford made it clear that he's chasing a goal bigger than titles.
It's gonna put me up there, you know, Mount Rushmore. You know, I'm looking forward to it, becoming the first 3-time male undisputed champion in 3 different weight classes.
Eddie Hearn shared that Crawford's strong belief in himself had a real effect on him, so much so that it actually made him lean toward picking Crawford to win. Hearn said Crawford's confidence was so real and powerful it was hard not to believe him, but after watching the face-off and press conference, Hearn admitted that he changed his mind again. Now he has leaned back toward supporting Canelo.
When I talk to Bud, I kind of like, he convinces me that he's going to win the fight because he's such a believer in his own ability, and he's very convincing. And then you see the presser yesterday, and I thought Canelo looked really well. Do you know what I mean? Obviously he's a big lump, so I was always Canelo, then I sort of leant towards Bud, but now I'm back with Canelo, so we'll see.
Crawford and Eddie's rivalry spilled onto social media after that bout when they traded strong words. Crawford accusing Hearn of disrespect and using his name to boost events, while Hearn fired back with pointed comments questioning Crawford's focus. Eddie made it clear that he respects Crawford's talent and actually finds him exciting to watch. However, he also felt that Crawford didn't give him enough credit for the role he played in helping promote his fights.
But I like Edgar. I think he's a really exciting fighter. I don't have any beef with him, and I wish him the best. But he should have the respect to say, "F me, Eddie Hearn really done a great job for me."
How is Crawford going to be able to bridge this weight gap?
Yeah, I don't think he can, in all honesty. I mean, he might not be able to bridge it on Saturday.
Yeah.
So,
one weight class.
68, yeah, but you're coming up from 35. 35, 40, 47, 54. Sooner or later, it's one too many. And 68 is definitely too many.
Canelo Alvarez.
But you have to use your movement if you're Terence Crawford in that fight. The last thing you want to do is stand and trade. He'd be moving a lot in that fight, trust me. I'm not saying he'd be running, but he would be moving a lot. Of course, that's the way to beat him.
Yeah.
You know?
Crawford's win earlier this year over Israel Madrimov turned heads. He dominated the fight and took home another title. He has now won titles in 4 different weight divisions. He's unbeaten, confident, and getting stronger. Terence Crawford explained that legendary fighters are remembered because they do things others think can't be done. For Crawford, beating Canelo Alvarez isn't just a goal. It's something he truly believes he's capable of.
But Madrimov gave you a tougher fight than Madrimov. Stop that. And now you're... Who? Someone gave you a tougher fight than Madrimov?
That was a tough fight, man.
Well, you've been beating the hell out of most guys you've ever fought. He gave you a good fight. Why do it this way?
Why not? I always say, you know, all the greats do things that people think that's impossible. You know, so within myself, I have the confidence, the skill. I got all the tools to be Canelo. So why not?
Canelo, on the other hand, hasn't lost since his fight with Dimitri Bivol in 2022, but his last fight against William Skull was not exciting. Fans were bored. It had the fewest punches thrown in any 12-round fight. People started saying Canelo was slowing down, so Canelo didn't claim to be the greatest Mexican boxer of all time, nor did he try to compare himself to legends of the past. Instead, he said his achievements would speak for themselves when his career is over. But when it came to the fight with Crawford, he didn't leave any room for doubt. He firmly stated that he would win.
But I don't know. Let's see when I retire where I'm gonna be in the list. But for sure, I will be Terence Crawford, no matter what. I'm looking like I'm gonna be the greatest Mexican ever. I don't say that. I think my numbers is gonna talk when I retire. You know, it's gonna be one of the greatest fighters ever, for sure. And that night is very special. All around this fight is special, and I think they don't wanna miss this fight.
Canelo Alvarez made a pointed remark aimed at Terence Crawford while speaking to Turki Alalshik, the chairman organizing the event. Canelo wasn't just joking, he was taking a swipe at Crawford's elusive style, hinting that his opponent would try to avoid exchanges rather than stand and fight.
Like, the way for you to win this fight is to move. Is that true?
Turkey, you need to put a small ring. The smaller ring in the...
Canelo Alvarez admitted he wasn't sure what kind of approach Crawford would use, but said he's preparing for all styles. Canelo also expressed hope that Crawford would come to fight and give fans an exciting battle, not just try to avoid danger. He said, "I don't know what fight he's gonna make, but I'm going to prepare myself for every style he brings. I hope he brings a good style to make a good fight for the people. That's what I want. If not, I'm going to do my best to win in every way." Bill Haney, father and trainer of Devin Haney, passionately backed Terence Crawford during the heated lead-up to the fight with Canelo Alvarez. He explained that once he arrived at the scene, the energy shifted and tension rose, pointing to how serious things became. Haney dismissed any talk that Crawford is too small for Canelo or that he's afraid of the challenge.
Why did you want to see this in the first place? Listen, we tired of playing. Did you see it kicked off when I showed up? Because Crawford ain't nothing to play with. He ain't scared of nobody, and you ain't too big for Crawford. So kill that narrative. It's over with. Blood has been drawn, and you're going to see. Crawford is the best fighter in the world.
Bill Haney didn't just show support for Terence Crawford with his words, he backed it with his wallet. To prove how strongly he believed in Crawford, he placed a $100,000 bet on him to win against Canelo Alvarez.
I bet 100,000. That's what you betting? That's what you betting on it, bro? No. Yeah, so go get y'all the 99. $1,000, baby, what's up? Wait a minute, watch. Listen. Canelo will be beat up like a bloody pulp when it's through. Talk that shit, Bill!
Showbiz the adult explained why he now believes Terence Crawford could beat Canelo Alvarez. He pointed out that Canelo tends to lose energy when he's forced to fight off the back foot, meaning when he's not pressing forward and has to chase or respond instead. According to him, Crawford's smart movement and style would push Canelo into that uncomfortable position.
Baseline. I'm telling you, I'm going to be at that damn fight, and Crawford is going to go to his corner, and he's going to look at me, and I'm going to be like,
I know how Bud Crawford beats Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez isn't effective, and he gets tired when he boxes going backwards. So I was saying, how is he going to do that as a small man? I know how.
He backed up his point about Canelo's struggles with movement by bringing up a key example from the past, his fight with Floyd Mayweather. He reminded viewers how Floyd used footwork, defense, and sharp counters to force Canelo to fight in reverse, making him less effective and more tired as the rounds went on. By comparing that to what Crawford brings to the table, Showbiz suggested that Crawford could follow a similar path.
How did Floyd stop Canelo in his tracks? One punch.
Terence Bud Crawford can be strong enough and he's smart enough with good enough footwork to stab jab him right at the belt line. What Floyd did was he paired it with a straight up top. The stab jab.
In the end, what started as a fight many doubted has now turned into one of the most anticipated matchups in modern boxing. From fiery face-offs to bold predictions, every moment leading up to Canelo versus Crawford has added more fuel to the fire. Whether it's Crawford's unshakable belief, Canelo's calm confidence, or the growing list of experts switching sides, this isn't just a battle for belts, it's a fight for legacy. September 13th won't just crown a winner, it may redefine greatness. If you're hyped for this historic showdown, hit that like button, subscribe for more fight updates, and let us know in the comments, who do you believe walks away with history, Crawford or Canelo? Let the debate begin.